Blue Network presents Eddie Condon's 18th Jazz Concert. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, kids and hot fans all over the Western Hemisphere. This is Eddie Condon's 18th Jazz Recital for the Blue Network from Town Hall in New York City. Today's program is going to be a little abbreviated, so without any further hurrah, may I introduce you to a fellow just back from the Normandy Beach, New Jersey, Eddie Condon.
Not doing very good today. Well, we outbested the hurricane out there anyhow. Say, Gene.
Yeah?
This fellow's name is Krupa, as you know.
Thank you very much. Thank you a lot.
That number we just played was Rosetta, right?
Yeah.
Remember the guy that wrote that?
Yeah, I think Father Hines wrote Rosetta.
Mr. Earl Hines wrote that, and we heard that a number of times before it was ever orchestrated. You recall that?
Yeah, I think we used to hear it at the Apex Club back in Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Man, I sound like an old little Dixie fellow, don't I? Hoo-hoo. Say, I ought to get through this personnel here, Gene. Let's see, now we had Ernie Caceres on the saxophone, didn't we?
Yeah.
On the tenor saxophone, rather the baritone saxophone, we had Gene Schroeder from Nix. On the piano, we had Peavy Russell from Nix. On the, were you on the piano that time, Peavy? No, I guess he was on the clarinet. We had Miff, who runs the band down at Nix. And Muggsy Spanier, who's also at Nix. And then we have Jack Lesberg, who's with Maxie's band at the Pied Piper, also in the village. Looks like the village is commandeering most of this type of music. Well, it's all right with me. I live at 12th Street. Now, let's see. This next number, Gene, is going to be the Memphis Blues, as Mesro used to say, remember?
Yes.
Well, what do you say we do it, eh?
All right, let's do it.
Did you remember that way back to the drums, Gene?
Yeah.
Fine and dandy. While he's there, I'll call the captain. We'll see how the box office is doing. Line's busy. I'll have to give a report on that later. Now, this Memphis Blues, we're going to go 2 beats. Ready, Muggs? 1, 2... That Memphis Blues is written by that fellow who knows how to write them. W.C. Handy. That laugh may have sounded familiar, will it? Oh, I beg your pardon, Red. This is Red McKenzie.
How do you do, folks? Thank you very much.
Well, we got this changes made, Red. You recall that, of course.
I'll change it real good for you.
Well, when that Brunswick record was made, Mr. Cap once said if we could repeat those, we'd have a lifetime contract.
Let's go see him.
We got a tough assignment on our hands repeating that record.
I tell you, there were some dandy guys on that.
Yes, there were.
Oh, we got Spanier and Krupa. And yourself, myself.
Well, poor Tesh, we can't have him.
Well, I was the appendix on
the
it.
TV. Well, look, we're going to take 4 bars on this, Red.
I'll give it a little try then.
And peel down there, and I'll call the rubber ends and the Lux.
Yes, yes.
I'll take 4, Gene.
Go ahead, Gene. Change in the weather, there's a change in the sea. And from now on, there'll be a change in me. My walk will be different, my talk and my name. There ain't a thing about me, it's gonna be the same. I'm gonna change my long, tall one for a little short fat. I'm even gonna change the number hanging outside of my flat because nobody loves you when you're old and gray. There'll be some changes made today. There'll be some changes made.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special bulletin. From the Blue Network newsroom in New York, Supreme Allied Headquarters announces that American troops are across the German border along its entire length, fronting Belgium and Luxembourg. First Army forces now have smashed completely through the second chain of the Siegfried Line. All of Belgium has been liberated. This bulletin is from the Blue Network newsroom in New York. We're returning now to our regularly scheduled program.
that I strut my stuff because nobody loves you when your road is gray. Come on, boy. There'll be some changes made today. There'll be some changes made.
Yeah, Red. Well, from Red, we go to Fred. Fred Robbins.
Okay, Eddie.
More poetry.
Ladies and gentlemen, my memorandum for you this afternoon concerns a special 45-minute concert that Eddie will conduct next Saturday. There's a fellow named Jess Stacy who knows exactly what to do with a Steinway. Well, Jess is going to be here, and I hope he'll play one of those Biederbeck pieces. Jess is in Syracuse right now with Horace Heights Orchestra. There's a girl named Mrs. Jess Stacy, that's Lee Wiley, and by this time I guess you must realize that Eddie and Maxie and Pee Wee and all the rest of the fellows give her the Duke as far as singing a song is concerned. We finally got Johnny DeVries interested in stamps, and the result is he mailed in a beautiful new lyric called Just Like They Do in the Movies. Well, some afternoon this week, Eddie's going to...
please copy.
Yeah, Eddie will drop into Julius's down in the village to get the late scratches. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he writes a melody for Johnny's words. And in that case, you can be sure Lee will sing it for you next week. And say, Bobby Hackett, don't forget to write that background. Dr. James P. Johnson's going to play some of Scott Joplin's music. Edmund Hall, who runs the band up at the Uptown Cafe Society, is going to play a little New Orleans blues for you with Gene Krupa of Chicago, Jess Stacy of Greenbrier, Missouri, and Sid Weiss of Jackson Heights. Ernie Caceres is going to play his new concerto for the hydrant called The Cricket Jumps. Miff will be here, and there's some talk about Muggsy Spanier playing Relaxin' at the Toro. Red McKenzie's going to sing a song, and Maxie Kaminsky's going to play something called Sentimental Baby. Bobby Hackett's going to play his cornet for you, and I wonder if Mother Russell is going to be here. Oh, now, Pee-wee, don't get impatient. You'll get to hear that Iowa pre-flight Michigan game. It's out at Ann Arbor, and the kickoff's at 2 o'clock, so take it easy. So that's the memo for today. We'll see you next week for 45 minutes. Okay, Eddie? Turn the Barefoot Gang loose.
1, 2.